Real Madrid enters one of the most decisive moments of its season under an atmosphere of uncertainty and intense scrutiny. What was once a club defined by stability and dominance now faces a pivotal Champions League clash with its future hanging in the balance. Head coach Xabi Alonso, pressured by a sequence of poor results, stands at the center of the conversation. Each word he delivers and each decision he makes will shape not only the upcoming match but also the direction of the entire project surrounding him. As tension rises and doubts spread, the question resonates across Spain. Can Real Madrid regain control before the situation escalates? Before continuing with the full report, make sure you stay connected and never miss an update. Subscribe now, leave a like and comment your prediction for the match. On the eve of a decisive Champions League encounter against Manchester City, Xabi Alonso addressed the rising tension surrounding Real Madrid with a mixture of calmness and determination. After winning only 2 of the last 7 matches in all competitions, the coach faces a level of pressure that has grown sharply, especially after the team's 2-0 defeat to Celta de Vigo at the Santiago Bernabéu. The loss triggered boos from the stands and intensified external speculation regarding Alonso's continuity. Spanish media outlets report that a defeat to Manchester City could result in his dismissal, depending on the nature of the performance and the overall reaction from the board. In Tuesday's press conference, Alonso emphasized unity and the need for mental resilience. His message was firm. Despite the recent setbacks, the team believes it can respond. This is a club that stays united during difficult times, he said. When you coach Real Madrid, you must be prepared to face these situations with calm and responsibility. I am fully focused on what is coming and that begins tomorrow. We know that everything can change very quickly in football. The coach referenced the contrast between the team's convincing 3-0 victory over Athletic Bilbao last week and the disappointing display against Celta. That win in San Mamés was seen as one of the most dominant under Alonso's management, but consistency remains the major challenge. The drop in performance only days later reopened debates about tactical choices, squad rotation, and the overall physical condition of the team. Alonso stressed that Real Madrid is mentally prepared to confront Manchester City, a team led by Pep Guardiola and anchored by the presence of Erling Haaland. Madrid currently sits in 5th place in its Champions League group, adding urgency to the upcoming match. We are convinced we can win, Alonso stated. We need to compete with the right intensity and rhythm. That will be essential. When asked whether he still had the support of the squad, Alonso answered directly, yes. His statement was reinforced by midfielder Aurelien Tchouaméni, who defended the coach and placed responsibility on the players. The coach had a good plan against Celta, but we are the ones on the pitch, Tchouaméni said. If we lost 2-0, it means there were problems with intensity and technical execution. It is not his fault. We are the ones who need to improve. Another focal point of criticism has been Vinícius Júnior. The forward delivered one of his least impactful performances of the season in the defeat to Celta. Despite forming an attacking trio with Mbappé and Bellingham, he created limited danger and struggled to overcome defensive pressure. His statistics reflected the overall difficulties of the team: few meaningful actions in the final third, multiple lost possessions and limited influence in decisive moments. With 31 points in La Liga and the possibility of falling further behind Barcelona, Real Madrid enters its encounter with Manchester City aware of both the stakes and the consequences. The upcoming match will not only define the team's immediate European campaign but may also determine the future of Xabi Alonso at the club. Real Madrid's recent defeat to Celta de Vigo exposed not only collective tactical problems but also the individual struggles of key players, particularly Vinícius Júnior. Once one of the club's most decisive attacking figures, the Brazilian delivered a subdued performance that became a focal point for criticism. Despite forming a front line alongside Kylian Mbappé and Jude Bellingham, he failed to generate consistent danger, contributing to a broader sense of offensive disconnection within the team. The numbers from the match highlighted the extent of his difficulties. Vinícius had fewer touches than his season average, attempted only a single shot on target, and completed just 1 successful pressure action out of 6 attempts. His dribbling efficiency dropped, and he lost possession 11 times. These indicators pointed not only to an off day but to a decline in confidence and sharpness, something that has occurred more frequently in recent weeks. His inability to break through Celta's defensive structure symbolized the stagnation of an attack that previously relied heavily on his explosiveness. Celta, meanwhile, executed a disciplined plan that exposed Madrid's vulnerabilities. Swedberg, who scored both goals, capitalized on errors that highlighted the defensive instability that has persisted throughout the season. The first goal originated from a costly turnover by Camavinga, quickly exploited through a transition that left the defensive line exposed. The second came in stoppage time, when Carvajal's mistake allowed Swedberg to run freely from midfield and finish the match with ease. These sequences illustrated a recurring problem: Real Madrid's susceptibility to counterattacks, particularly when pushing numbers forward in search of goals. The defeat also reignited concerns surrounding the team's tactical balance. Alonso's attempt to increase offensive presence often leaves the defensive structure overstretched, a pattern opponents have learned to exploit. With both fullbacks advancing frequently and the midfield struggling to control transitions, Madrid has conceded goals in similar fashion multiple times this season. This structural issue is one of the central challenges Alonso must address if the team is to recover momentum. Beyond tactics, the emotional impact of recent performances has also become visible. The Bernabeu crowd reacted with clear frustration, and the atmosphere after the final whistle reflected the growing impatience. Boos filled the stadium, creating a sense of tension that extended to the players' body language. Vinícius left the pitch with his head down, a stark contrast to the confidence he displayed in previous seasons. The moment encapsulated the mood surrounding the team: uncertainty, pressure, and a need for immediate response. Real Madrid now sits on 31 points in La Liga, facing the risk of falling 7 points behind Barcelona if the rival wins its next match. This gap, combined with the delicate position in the Champions League group stage, intensifies the urgency for improvement. The upcoming match against Manchester City is not only a test of tactical ideas but a measurement of psychological strength. As the team prepares for the challenge ahead, the spotlight remains firmly on Xabi Alonso. His ability to restore confidence in players like Vinícius, reorganize the defensive structure, and generate consistent attacking patterns will determine the trajectory of the season. For now, the situation remains open, shaped by both immediate pressure and the demanding expectations that come with managing Real Madrid.